All right, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. I am very excited about this segment because not only is it about my favorite farmers market in the Bronx, but we are going to bring in an a Grammy award winning folk singer on the program. So let us say good evening to Shira Silverman. My friend Shira is the market manager for the Riverdale Y Sunday Market. Nice to see you again, Shira. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
And people will recognize Tom Chapin. He is a Grammy Award winner. He also, and maybe this for this segment to some degree, is even more important. He's a advisory board member for WhyHunger, and nice to have you with us, Tom. Before we just bring Sheer in to talk about what's going to happen, it occurred to me why hunger, WHY, is was that named for World Hunger Year? Is that where it came up, or
It,
did I
it,
just make that up?
in 1975, Harry and Bill Ayers started Why Hunger, and
Why Hunger?
and eventually changed the name. They started World Hunger Year. I'm sorry, WHY,
Right, that's
and
what I was thinking of. Yeah.
yeah, and they kept being this question of so what year is World Hunger Year? Of course, every year
Yeah,
is,
well, yeah.
and so somewhere about 10 or 15 years ago, they changed it to Why Hunger,
Why
which is
hunger?
a little
Which,
clearer
which
name.
works. Okay,
Yeah.
let's bring Shira in. Shira, as you know, you're helping to feed the Axelbank family every Sunday because Suzanne and I come out there. And so let's talk about the Riverdale Y and the Riverdale Y Sunday Market and why we are bringing Tom Chapin to the program and then, of course, to the market on October 2nd.
So, the Riverdale Y Sunday Market is a farmers market in Riverdale. We are part of the Riverdale Y, and we are open every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Riverdale Temple parking lot. The, the market was created in 2011 with the intention of bringing fresh food to the community. And
And so let me just help you along with it. So who are the vendors in there that Gary likes so much, and what is the attraction for people who go there as opposed to and nothing wrong with shopping in a supermarket or somewhere else, but I find that it's really much more pleasurable to hang around in the community and talk to farmers, et cetera, et cetera.
well, there are a few reasons. One is that I can say with great pride that my vendors are the best of everything you can find. Tom smiles, but I really mean it.
I'm
No, it's
I'm I'm with you. I've been to that farmers market. It's a
Oh, I
great
didn't know.
farmers market. Yeah.
And listen,
So,
fresh fruit and vegetables, as well as you can get the nice barbecue chickens and the whole bit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, so we have our core vendors who have been with us for a really long time. We are very fortunate to have three great farmers. Um, and it's Gonzalez Orchards of Conklin and Doremi Farms, and they have a whole variety of produce that you can find that you can produce that really is the best quality that you can find anywhere. I mean,
It's true.
one of the things about local produce is that it's seasonal. So that, for example, right now I have three cobs of corn sitting on my kitchen counter where I cut one in half, and it's juicy. I mean, have you ever
It's for
bought
real.
a cob of corn at the grocery store that oozes juice
Like that.
at you?
All right. So listen, we want to bring Tom in. So on Sunday, October 2nd, we will be seeing Tom Chapin performing with the Chapin sisters. And the objective there was really to just talk about food insecurity or security and bring people in and have a good time, right? Shira, is that what we're doing?
Definitely. And one of the things that makes our market so special, that I think actually makes us unique in the Bronx and among farmers markets, is that we have a real community vibe. It's not just about the food and all the other products that you can get at the market.
Hmm.
It's all of that existing within this community vibe, which I think is what brings you to the market
It bring
every single week.
in part it brings me, but it also brings Tom Chapin. Tom, let's talk about why hunger and what your commitment, your family's commitment. I guess it's almost part of the last name Chapin at this point. Just
Yeah.
talk to me about why why you do it.
Well, first of all, this concert is sponsored by the Riverdale Y and by Why Hunger. and funded by the Jacobs Family Endowment. And so but the reason why I do this is my brother Harry in 1975, and along with the radio DJ named Bill Ayers, got together and had this crazy idea that they could stop hunger in America and around the world.
How silly!
Because there's so much food, there's food enough to feed everybody all the time, but it's the question of who's growing it, what are they growing, and how are they getting to places. Now, farmers markets are fabulous because you cut out the middleman, farmer to you, to us, and aside from the fact that it helps the farmer and helps the family, it also, as Shira said, it's the best food you can get, and fresh. And I'm a huge fan. We have a couple of farmers markets here, one of which has the Conklin folks as well. I'm in the Hudson Valley, and
let me just interject, just so we can move it along. So there is really not only the idea that Tom Chapin will be playing, and it's exciting, and I know Shira has brought one of my favorite local rhythm and blues bands out there. That's a nice thing, but for you, this is really a community thing to do this, have the music and the issue integrated, etc.
Also, and when you ask what's the difference between this and a supermarket, aside from the great food, it's a community. You don't stop in a supermarket and talk to your neighbors that you see every week. But
certainly
you do
not
in a
like
farmer's
you do
market.
here. Yeah, that's right.
You do in a farmer's market. You go there. Oh, and you see folks, and you see that, hey, you got a new dog. Oh, new kid. It's really like the old neighborhood thing where you're talking to folks. And that is enormously important in this day and age when people are so scattered and in their own little block and their own little TV and iPad and phone and this and that. All of a sudden, you go to the market and you're walking, and you get to talk to the guys and the females who grew the stuff. Where are they working? How'd you get into this? Blah blah blah. Oh, and what's good this week? Oh my goodness! And there's this whole sense of community that is so. Really lovely,
I just again want to move it on. Your music works right for this. I mean, again, you can't separate.
It's lovely to have a song,
That's what
It's early morning, not quite 4. The farmer's up and out the door, and little farms all through the state. They're loading bushel, box, and crate. Though you sleep in. While you sleep in safe and sound, the farmer's driving to your town, bringing fresh grown, fresh picked food your way as the sun wakes up the day. At the farmer's market, close to home, all the food you'll find there is locally grown. Like a farm once a week in your neighborhood, it's Farmer's Market. Good. I'll skip to the last verse. And if it's still a bit too hard to try and till your whole backyard, there is a place right down the street where all your savvy neighbors meet, and like the seeds that the farmers sow, your whole community will grow. And
it's fine.
At the farmers market.
There you go.
Farmers market, good. But that
you have a new CD, Tom. You wanted to just hold up.
Well, I have a brand new CD for grown-ups. This is my 28th CD, and it's called "Hold Your Ground." It's coming out actually the 21st of September. So, and I also have 13 albums for families, and one of the albums is called "This Pretty Planet," and it's songs about and also "Give Peas a Chance" is the name of the album.
That's good.
It's an award-winning album about good food and the green earth and how they connect. And that's where that song is in.
I want to talk about WhyHunger.
Sure.
There are so many activities. We've got a little video we can show as well. Just talk about the range of activities that you that you're doing with WhyHunger, and how. Listen, we're not solving the problem but we're every day another day, right?
The idea here, as I said earlier, is enough food to feed the world. And Harry always thought hunger in America, where this is just unconscionable. and he decided to spend the rest of his life working on this, and that was 10 years. And then before he was killed. But what's happened since his death 41 years ago is that WhyHunger has done this amazing work, and basically they're putting hungry people in touch with food, helping them towards self-reliance, and really it's a global nonprofit founded in 1975. And they have a fundamental belief that access to nutritious food is a human right, and hunger is a solvable problem.
And you know,
you can go on their website, whyhunger.org. Amazing stuff they've done. It's one of the proudest things I get to do. I was on the board, the actual board, for 38 years. Now I'm an advisor to the board.
Right.
But every time I sit down with the folks at WhyHunger, I go, wow, this is doing great work.
In addition to the food insecurity interview that we did in the first part of the program, it's always been incredible in the borough of the Bronx that has the largest fresh food market in the nation at the Hunts Point Food Market, and there's food insecurity down the block. Now, you can't have a bigger systemic quandary than that. And, you know, Tom talked about food being available. It's there. We just have to get it to people. In the Bronx, we understand that all too well. So, Shira, Sunday, October 2nd, right? We're all coming out?
For sure.
What are the times of the market?
The times of the market are 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and the concert itself starts at 1 p.m.
Aha.
And we're doing it a little later because we want everyone to be able to come, including the churches.
And I should mention, it's not just me, it's my daughters, Abigail and Lily, the Chapin sisters, who grew up working this thing, and they just came back from an amazing tour in England. And Abigail and Lily will be there. You can just check out thechapinsisters.com or .org. Mm-hmm. And my wonderful bass player, Michael Mark, who wrote Entertainment Tonight theme song. And Michael it'll be a wonderful concert where we'll sing back and forth. To me, when I get a chance to sing with my daughters, hey, it's the best.
I think that it's just a beautiful thing that we can never separate the Chapin name from the commitment to these kinds of things. And so, you know, I'm going to see you there in person. I will definitely be there.
Gary.
And thank you so much, Tom Chapin, for everything, and Shira
welcome.
for helping to feed the Axelbank family.
Shira, I will see you on October 2nd. Looking forward to it.
I very much look forward to it. And that song is perfect.
It's perfect. Well, you'll hear it live. Listen, we got to run. Thank you, Shira Silverman and Tom Chapin. And in our previous segment, Caroline Lewis from Gothamist WNYC. And we'll see you next week. Good night.
Great. Thanks, Gary.